Welcome to the Binge List, fellow TV and film fanatics. I'm Greg, and I make recommendations for TV shows and for movies that you can access from the comfort of your own home. And August 2024 on Netflix is not as jam-packed as some of the other months recently, but it has a ton of really solid options coming to the service. So let's talk about a few that look like they're worth checking out, from highly rated classics to new Netflix originals, and a few that I'm personally really looking forward to. So for the sake of time, I can't go through every single title that's coming to Netflix this month, but I am going to talk a little bit about the ones that caught my eye and why I think so. And then at the end, I'll show you a list of everything that's hitting Netflix in August 2024. So stop mindlessly scrolling, stop wasting your time, and let's jump in and check it out.
Old man,
So on August 1st, we actually get a few really solid movie options, starting with Red from 2010 and Red 2 from 2013. These are action comedy films based on the limited comic book series of the same name that centers around this group of retired CIA operatives forced back into the dangerous world of espionage. Bruce Willis stars as Frank, who is this former Black Ops agent who reunites with his old team, including John Malkovich, Helen Mirren, and Morgan Freeman, when they are targeted for assassinations. Both of these films deliver a mix of this high-octane action sequences, tons of witty humor, and unexpected twists throughout. But as I mentioned, these films boast an impressive cast with renowned actors delivering outstanding performances. Again, you get Willis, Malkovich, Mirren, and Morgan Freeman leading the way, but you've also got Carl Urban, Julie McMahon, Brian Cox, Richard Dreyfuss, and plenty of others filling out this top-tier cast. Filled with a blend of thrilling action sequences and more than enough laughs to keep you entertained. And on top of that, these films do a great job of tapping into the nostalgia of classic spy movies while adding this modern twist. So if you enjoy action-packed comedies with a star-studded cast, these films are a perfect choice. Also on the first, we get Star Trek Beyond, which takes this iconic crew of the USS Enterprise on another perilous adventure. This is the third Star Trek film in this revamp where we see a surprise attack leave their ship stranded on a hostile alien planet. Captain Kirk, played by Chris Pine, and Spock, played by Zachary Quinto, must reunite their scattered crew and battle a ruthless enemy led by Krall, played by Idris Elba, who is this mysterious figure with a grudge against the Federation. This film definitely has the exploratory themes of the Star Trek universe that everybody loves, but with Justin Lin at the helm, it also leans heavily into some fast-paced action, from space battles, phaser fights, and hand-to-hand combat throughout the entirety of the film. And I'm in no way a Star Trek expert, but from my level of exposure to this universe, I do love this cast because I feel like they really embody these legendary characters. And with a core cast like Pine, Quinto, Zoe Saldana, Carl Urban, Simon Pegg, and John Cho, you can imagine tons of quality performances. And like the other films in this trilogy, Beyond expands on its all-star cast with the induction of the rebellious alien warrior Jayla, played by Sofia Boutella, Joe Taslim as Manus, and Idris Elba as the Big Bad, which adds this fresh dynamic to the team and the film itself. This one offers you a thrilling and visually impressive adventure that expands on this Star Trek universe with the high-energy action and fresh additions to the cast. Well worth checking out.
It's easy to get lost in the vastness of space. There's only yourself, your ship, your crew.
So let's move forward to August 6th with a movie that I have recommended a few times on this channel, and that is the film Reminiscence. This is a neo-noir science fiction thriller set in the flooded streets of Miami in the future. Hugh Jackman stars as Nick, who is a man who specializes in helping clients access lost memories through this revolutionary technology. When a mysterious woman enters Nick's life, he becomes obsessed with uncovering her secrets and goes on a journey that leads him down a dangerous path filled with deception and violence. When I first read about this one before I'd even seen it, I thought it had such a cool premise, exploring memory, identity, and the blurred lines between reality and the past. And after watching it, you'll find a movie that is filled with twists and turns that keeps you engaged. And it looks really cool with this futuristic setting of flooded Miami that feels like you could walk right into this world. And it's really visually striking when they depict this memory technology usage as well. And this is another film with some really strong performances with a cast of Rebecca Ferguson, Wendy Newton, Cliff Curtis, but Hugh Jackman really delivers a compelling performance as the haunted and obsessive man. So check out Reminiscence for a blend of elements of science fiction, noir, and romance with a cool exploration of memory and identity. Definitely worth checking out.
Some people began looking back.
Nothing is more addictive than the past.
No, put me back. Put me back. I understand.
Next up, we go to the quirky and action-packed series, The Umbrella Academy, where we see season 4 hitting on August 8th. In this one, we follow the lives of 7 extraordinary siblings with unique superpowers who are adopted by this eccentric billionaire, Sir Reginald Hargraves. They were all raised to save the world. However, the team disbanded in their teenage years and now is reuniting because of the news of their father's death. They must overcome their dysfunctional relationships and the individual struggles they go through to prevent an impending apocalypse. This series itself is adapted from the comic book series of the same name by Gerard Way, the lead singer of My Chemical Romance, which I didn't know until looking this up. One of the best parts of this series is just how many unique characters it has. All of the siblings of this makeshift family have their own unique powers and eccentric and over-the-top personalities that are both humorous and fun to root for. And I personally love time travel tropes, and this series incorporates a ton of it. It adds an exciting and unpredictable element to the plot throughout, but on top of the time travel trope, this show blends dark humor, action, superhero elements, creating a visually striking and entertaining experience. So check out The Umbrella Academy for a captivating blend of genres with a set of unique characters and an exciting, twisty-turny narrative. I'm super excited to see where season 4 takes it.
This goodbye, I didn't encourage your smiles. I expect you all cry. So the world's ending again, huh? God, that's tragic.
On to the 16th, where we get 3 more solid movie options, the first being the biodrama First Man. This delves into the personal and professional life of Neil Armstrong, who's played by Ryan Gosling, as the first man to walk on the moon. The film focuses on years leading up to the historic Apollo mission, exploring the challenges, sacrifices, and the emotional toll endured by Armstrong and his family. And unlike a lot of spacefaring movies and TV shows, this film has a real grounded approach to the story of the Apollo 11 mission, focusing on the human elements rather than the spectacle of what actually happened, which does give us a fresh look at the story that we're all super duper familiar with. And you have some really strong performances. Of course, Ryan Gosling has a tremendous performance in this one as Neil Armstrong, but you also have Claire Foy's portrayal of his wife Janet, along with a laundry list of solid supporting actors, including Jason Clarke, Kyle Chandler, Corey Stoll, Kieran Hins, Pablo Schreiber, and plenty of others. And on top of that, the film uses amazing sound design. It's one thing that stands out to you when you're watching it, along with the cinematography, to create this sense of immersion in the scenes that you do go into space. So you can check this one out for a unique perspective on one of history's greatest achievements. While not the traditional space epic, the film focuses on this human element, providing you with a thought-provoking and intimate portrayal of Neil Armstrong and the sacrifices he and his family made. 100% worth checking out for yourself.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Be an adventure.
First man to walk on the moon. That'd be something.
The next one on the 16th is a change of pace from the last one, and this is the psychological horror film Pearl. This one does serve as a prequel to another movie we talked about on this channel, and that is the 2022 film X. This one is set in 1918, and the movie follows the life of young Pearl, played by Mia Goth, who is trapped on her family's isolated farm while her husband is away. Under the strict watch of her devout mother, Pearl dreams of escaping her mundane existence and achieving stardom. As her desires grow, so does her descent into madness, leading into a series of violent acts. Pearl dives deep into the mind of this troubled character, offering you tons of chilling moments and thought-provoking experiences throughout. And I really think that Mia Goth is so good in this type of role. Her performance as Pearl is mesmerizing, very intense, and captivating you as she portrays this innocent yet eerie character through her descent into this madness. And this film uses a lot of vibrant visuals throughout, and this use of color creates this striking contrast to the dark overall theme of the film. So if you like psychologically disturbing horror films that offer a unique perspective and this cool character, this one is worth checking out for Mia Goth's performance alone. Definitely on the list to check out in August. And the third movie on the 16th is the Netflix original film The Union that's coming out. And this is an action comedy film that follows Mike, an ordinary construction worker, as he's thrust into the world of espionage with his high school sweetheart Roxanne, who recruits him for this high-stakes mission, and together they navigate a dangerous world of secret agents and international intrigue. And this one is only being released on the 16th, so I haven't seen it yet, but based on the trailer, it does look like it's going to be reminiscent of a classic buddy cop movie, and there appears to be plenty of chemistry between Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry as this unlikely duo, which seems to be a highlight. And on top of all that, it looks to have a lot of unique action sequences that are going to be infused with comedic elements, creating what will probably be a pretty fun and entertaining experience, albeit probably a turn your brain off lighthearted film. And this is definitely one I'm looking forward to checking out. It's hard to not be at least a little bit excited about Halle Berry and Mark Wahlberg leading an entertaining action comedy, so definitely putting this on my watch list for the 16th.
You're welcome.
So the 19th of August is a pretty big release day for Netflix. I'm actually referring to this one as AMC Day, as Netflix is expanding its content library with 12 outstanding AMC shows, from supernatural thrillers to gritty dramas, and there's plenty of great options on this list. The first one on this list being A Discovery of Witches, seasons 1 through 3. And this is a fantasy drama that follows this historian and a vampire who must navigate a world of hidden creatures and ancient prophecies that blends romance, history, supernatural elements all into a great show. Then another supernatural option is also coming with Mayfair Witches, where we get season 1. And this one centers around a powerful witch who discovers her family's dark history. And this is a dark exploration of witchcraft and has a really strong central performance by Alexandria Daddario. The third option is the crime drama Dark Winds, where we get seasons 1 and 2. This one's set on a Navajo reservation in the 1970s and blends mystery, suspense, and Native American culture, which is constantly praised for its authentic portrayal of the setting and these complex characters. Then there are 2 spin-offs of The Walking Dead hitting as well. We're gonna get 8 seasons of Fear the Walking Dead and 1 season of Daryl Dixon. Fear the Walking Dead actually follows a different group of new and familiar survivors navigating the zombie apocalypse, exploring new characters, new locations in this massive world. And then Daryl Dixon obviously focuses on the beloved Daryl Dixon character and his journey after the events of the original Walking Dead series. Then even more supernatural options with the adaptation of Anne Rice's classic novel Interview with the Vampire season 1. And this series follows the lives of Lestat and Louis starting in the 19th century in New Orleans, but spans decades as the world changes around them. This one is up there as one of the best on this AMC release day. It has excellent performances, explores themes of immortality, identity, good versus evil, but I will mention it is a bit of a slower option for you. And if slow is not what you're looking for, then maybe you would enjoy the fast-paced martial arts drama set in the post-apocalyptic world Into the Badlands, seasons 1 through 3. And this features stunning fight choreography, rich world building, and a fairly complex storyline. Another one of my favorite AMC options coming to Netflix with this one.
I'm sure he will slit your throat.
I know that the Badlands are coming for me.
Then the next one is one that I actually haven't seen yet, but it is coming on the 19th, and I love Annie Murphy, so I wanted to include Kevin Can F Himself. This one has solid ratings on both IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, with reviews praising the humor, the dark comedy, focusing on the life of a sitcom wife who breaks free from her stereotypical role. There are 4 more options on this list. We get the first one being the crime mystery series Monsieur Spade, that follows a legendary private investigator played by Clive Owen, living as an expat in the south of France with a unique approach to solving cases. So if you're looking for a mystery series, an awesome option with 1 season coming. Then the next series, this one is my personal favorite, coming from AMC on the 19th. This is The Boys creator Garth Ennis's most popular comic book series that's coming to the screen with Preacher. This has so much to love, with a blend of so many genres: Western, fantasy, horror, superhero, comedy, and so much more. Preacher follows a retired bank robber, now a preacher with supernatural powers, battling all kinds of supernatural beings.
Preacher, enough.
Almost done, Sheriff.
If you're not into the more fantastical elements and are looking for a more down-to-earth Western, we also get The Dirty Black Bag, set in the American West. This series follows a bounty hunter and a sheriff with contrasting personalities throughout in this amazing looking rustic and colorful setting with strong performances depicting very complex characters. And then the last AMC title coming on the 19th is season 1 of the historical horror series The Terror. It follows a crew of explorers during an infamous voyage that lands them trapped in the Arctic. And for this one, I need to catch up on the other seasons, but this one for the first season that is coming to Netflix was a haunting experience and is packed full of creepy and chilling moments and tons of suspense. And I probably need to do just a whole video on these titles to talk a bit more about them, but August 19th is going to be a great day for sure, with such a diverse range of shows offering something for almost everybody. Thrilling action, thought-provoking dramas, horror, supernatural, laughs of course. This alone is a huge win in my opinion for Netflix's library in providing you with countless hours of outstanding bingeable options. Then the last two titles that I'm going to talk about here, they're both Netflix originals. First, let's talk about Incoming, which drops on August 23rd. This is a comedy film that follows a group of high school freshmen as they navigate their first ever high school party. From the trailer, it kind of feels like a combination of the movies like Good Boys, Blockers, Project X, all wrapped into one with all kinds of humor. And it looks like it's going to have tons of over-the-top scenarios and ridiculous situations, providing a majority of the humor to create a very lighthearted, fun environment. With the main characters being high school freshmen, it would probably be pretty easy to connect with the characters dealing with these hyperbolized scenarios that probably feel fairly familiar to most. And it does have that young cast I mentioned, which I'm not super familiar with, but the older cast includes some familiar faces like Caitlin Olsen and Bobby Cannavale. Incoming, while it might not reinvent the genre, the film looks like it's going to offer a fun take on the classic high school party trope. Definitely one that I'm going to check out.
I don't want to dance around anymore.
Ow! For a second there, I thought you might have been the door.
Can you leave?
And then the last title, and out of all the titles on this list, this last one is actually the one that I'm looking forward to the most. I have to wait all the way to the August 29th for this one, but it is the new Netflix original series Kaos. And there's not a ton actually released on this one yet from trailers and reviews or anything like that, but I do love plays on Greek mythology, and Jeff Goldblum is going to be in this one, so it had me hooked early on. But from reading about it, it is going to be a darkly comedic reimagining of that mythology I'm talking about, set in a contemporary world. And the series is going to follow a group of 6 humans who discover they're interconnected by this weird ancient prophecy. And at the center of it, Zeus, played by Goldblum, who is experiencing a midlife crisis, is fearing his reign is coming to an end. So with Goldblum at the helm as the neurotic Zeus character, Kaos looks and sounds like it is going to be one wild and unpredictable ride through a reimagined Greek mythos. 100% checking this one out.
Suck a dick.
Hey, you do not tell your mother to suck a dick.
She's not my mother.
That is going to do it for our list today. Thanks for hanging out with me. I know that every YouTuber says this, but click the stuff down below, sub, like, share the video. It does help us get our recommendations out to others looking for good shows and movies that they can watch from their home. But again, thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.